Welcome to Scrambled, your space for fertility, owning your 30s, and the scramble that makes it all worth it. Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrambled. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're talking to a guest whose job it is to educate new parents. Samantha Goldberg is a neonatal nurse practitioner in New York City, and she's the founder of an amazing company called Newborn Prep 101. She helps new parents feel prepared to bring their babies home through in-person education all across the US, which is honestly amazing. Sam has over 8 years of personal experience in the NICU setting, so she's seen it all, and she brings such a calm, knowledgeable perspective when it comes to newborn care. We're going to chat today about her business and talk about her personal experience with egg freezing. We're going to discuss what it's like working so closely with new parents every day and delve into her experience with egg freezing, why she decided to do it, and how her career has influenced the way that she thinks about fertility and timing. Sammy, welcome to Scramble.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay, so this is a fun one for me because we went to college together. We met freshman year orientation, right?
We sure did.
Yes, and your mom and my dad, did we get dinner together or something?
We also went to some party together at a college student.
Yeah. So we've known each other since 2012.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen you in a while, and this is really exciting because not that this is the same field, but relative. So will you just give us a little background where you started? I mean, you can go back to the IU days. We went to IU together, and then how you came to be.
Go Hoosiers.
Actually, during the Miami IU game, Ashley was like, the Hoosiers. I was like, it's Hoosiers, but okay.
Anything with the Australian accents.
I know, right?
Yeah, it sounds better, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take us right back to college days.
So I went to Indiana, obviously. I then graduated and went to NYU. I did a 15-month accelerated bachelor's program there for nursing. And then when I was working full-time, I think I was doing night shift at the time, I went to UConn for my master's, and now I'm here.
Amazing. This is going to sound like a silly question because most people know, but we do have Australian listeners who are less familiar. What is a nurse practitioner? How are they different to a registered nurse, for example?
Yeah. So a nurse practitioner is a little bit more of an advancement to your registered nursing degree. So it's a master's in nursing. You can prescribe, you can diagnose. You're no longer at the bedside, so you're kind of in a different role completely. But yeah, I definitely recommend.
Yeah. It's almost like functioning somewhere between, like, it's that advanced nursing and then there's a doctor, and you're kind of like that in between where you have that master's, that like extra knowledge on your basic nursing foundation, which enables you to be a little bit more specialized and provide like a higher level of care. Is that kind of how you would? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
How did you decide like NICU and prenatal?
So originally I just wanted pediatrics. I didn't know that I actually wanted to work with babies. I got a job in the NICU. It was my first job after nursing school, and I fell in love with it. And then I applied to a master's in neonatal nursing, and I just kept going with it.
That's amazing. So first exposure to the nursing world was in the NICU setting, and you just became so passionate about it that you were like, I am going to stick to this, specialize in it, like make that my whole being.
Exactly.
And then now you have started a company based off of your years of experience called Newborn Prep 101. Love. Tell us about what is Newborn Prep 101?
So Newborn Prep 101 is a company that educates parents, relieves anxiety for them. We're preparing them for having their baby and bringing their baby home. Safety is huge. So we have infant and child CPR and choking response classes. And then we also have a general newborn prep class. The CPR class is really the biggest one, the most popular. We've expanded into a few different states and cities. So we're Long Island, Westchester, New York City, Brooklyn, Jersey, Connecticut,
Wow.
Boston, DC, Chicago, LA, and we just recently added Philadelphia.
Oh my God, good for you.
And everyone's registered nurses or nurse practitioners that are teaching the classes in all those spots.
Amazing. It's in person. So someone comes into their home and teaches them how to respond and deal with a situation with their baby within their own home?
Yeah. So we come to your home. We bring everything you need. We leave you with handouts after that you can refer to. We send you videos after as well. But we come in, it's about an hour for the class, depending on how many people you have take it. If you take the double class, it's 2 hours. But it's really simple. People do it on their lunch break. People do it before they start work. Everyone works from home now, so people throw meetings on their calendar and just do it then. So it's really convenient. It's really designed to be convenient for parents.
I mean, that's insane. I would say that one of the biggest anxieties that most people talk about when they have a child is, firstly, there's the shock of being pregnant. Then there's the having the baby. And then a lot of parents say that moment when you go to walk out of the hospital and the baby is just given to you and you're like, wait a second, I have to take this home. I have to keep it alive. I have to protect it, is so daunting.
Yeah.
So to have this ability to prepare for worst case scenario is incredible.
It's actually pretty crazy that this didn't exist before. Or maybe it did, but not at this level. Like how, I mean, even recently I was like going to take a dog CPR class because I was like, what if he starts choking? And I like, it's just things.
I always joke about how I should like partner up with a vet.
Yeah,
People always
sure.
ask and are like, do you know, like, is dog CPR the same? I'm like, I have no idea.
different.
That's like a good, that would be a fun thing.
I know. And based on the dog breed, apparently, like their stomach structure, you either do CPR from the bottom, the side, or the top.
Oh,
So all the breeds are different.
I've so much different sizes. I guess it's the same as CPR. It's different for a baby to an adult.
yeah.
Right.
Probably similar concept. So you obviously saw a need for this because you were working in the neonatal setting and then you became an advanced practitioner. You obviously saw this gap in the market and thought, like, this is something I'm going to tap into. And then you've like grown exponentially. Has that shown you that there was this giant gap in the market where people wanted support at home?
Yeah. I mean, the company really started pretty organically.
Yeah.
My sister was pregnant with my niece at the time, around a little over 2 years ago. And she was just like, can you teach CPR to our family just so everyone can learn and be safe with my niece? And I was like, absolutely. I was like, I'll make it fun. I'll buy a doll, I'll do a PowerPoint. I was just like, I don't know, getting into it. And then my aunt wanted me to do it for her because my cousin was having a baby. And then all my friends were kind of in that stage also having children. And I was just like, there's something here. And I kind of ran with it. And it ended up being a lot bigger than I thought it ever would be. I thought it would just be like a fun little side thing.
What is it like working with new parents, and like what are some of the biggest anxieties that they express to you?
Yeah, I think a lot of them have a lot of anxiety just because they're bringing home a baby and it's the most fragile thing in the world and the most important thing in the world to them. So it's really important to just help keep them calm and educate them on what to do in case there is an emergency, because you need to know how to respond.
What are the areas that you focus on with these parents to make sure that they feel safe in responding to a quote unquote emergency situation? Like, what are the main things we're looking at?
I mean, we bring a real CPR doll and we have them practice until they're comfortable. And we're doing infant CPR and child CPR, and then infant choking response and child choking response, because there are differences for all of them. So I think getting that hands-on practice is really important. That way you have like almost that muscle memory, so you can just jump in, because you can watch a video about CPR multiple times and then you still freeze and panic and have no idea what to do when it's actually time to use it. So once again, like I said earlier, the goal is to be prepared for the emergency. And that's really, we want parents to feel confident and prepared.
Have any of your clients come to you after the fact and been like, I had to use it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So it happens more frequently than people would expect.
But how amazing that they were able to come back and go, I did it because you showed me what to do. Like, that's incredible.
Thankfully, for a while when I first started, no one said it. And then it like happened once or twice. But yeah, I'm very happy that they were able to resolve it. And they said they did exactly what they learned in the class, which is so great. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, and babies were okay.
I have literal goosebumps.
I know.
Crazy. I mean, CPR is one of those amazing things that hopefully you never need to use it in life. But if you ever do, you can make a difference, which is insane. I've never had to do CPR in the wild, like outside of the hospital setting. And I, for a little while, was actually nannying for a family when I first moved to the US, and I hadn't got my nursing license sorted out over here yet. And I did it like a refresher for neonates because I thought I feel relatively comfortable with adult CPR, but there's a whole different ballgame when you have neonatal, like infants and kids.
Are you pressing on the babies with your hands like an adult, or is it like smaller, like fingers, because they're so small?
Yeah, so it's like either the two thumbs or the palm of one hand.
Oh, so it's really
it used to be the two fingers like this, but the American Heart Association changed it a couple of months ago.
Oh.
They updated it. But yeah, so if there are differences, it's really important to know the differences, because you don't want to cause more damage if you can try and avoid it. But
doesn't it break their ribs also?
It can. And I always tell parents, broken bones and bruises will heal, but the brain without oxygen won't. So don't let that stop you in the moment.
So the difference between choking response versus CPR, why both and what do both do?
Yeah. So typically healthy newborns don't just go into spontaneous cardiac arrest like adults do. It's usually brought on by something respiratory caused, so like suffocation, drowning, things like that, choking. So if you're not breathing for a certain amount of time, your heart's going to stop shortly after, because the heart and lungs kind of work together. They're like a circuit. So when one stops, the other will stop too. So that's why choking response leads into CPR.
Okay. So it's a lead-in thing. It's not like one or the other. It's like
Yeah.
if they're choking, then you need CPR.
Yeah. And then if you're unconscious, so you're choking, you need the choking response. And then if you go unconscious, you need CPR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why it's important to learn the algorithm of where to respond and at what point you change your response from, say, dealing with a respiratory issue to now we actually need to provide chest compression. So that's why you've got to do these courses so that you know at what point. A lot of people are like, oh, I've seen CPR, I'll do it. But doing CPR on a responsive person who has an obstruction is not helpful. So it's about doing these courses and learning what interventions.
I cannot wait. Maybe one day if I'm not single and I have a baby to learn this.
And there's anyone in the community.
You know, and you could do it with friends. I have people that take classes with their friends. I've had like groups of, 4 couples, and the dads are drinking and the moms are pregnant and just chilling. Or people do it with their grandparents. People do it with the aunts, uncles. Everyone gets involved, and it kind of just makes it less stressful and just a more comforting environment.
In every course, are you doing the choking response and the CPR, or do people choose one or the other?
It's in the same course together.
But then you also have another course about just like newborns in general. Prep?
Yeah, general newborn prep. So like diaper changing, swaddling, skin concerns, what happens to and for your baby in the hospital, like any of those shots or blood work, things like that.
Yeah, I think that's just as important. The amount of people that are like, there with a newborn, they've never bathed it before and they've never put it in a swaddle. Like,
I don't even know what a swaddle is. So, well, it's a wrap.
Swaddle in a blanket after.
we'll do a demo.
I'll show you.
No, they're all really helpful tips, because when I was asking before, like, what are people's biggest anxieties? Half the time, people's biggest anxiety is not like, what do I do if my baby becomes unconscious? It's like, how do I look after this baby day to day? How many layers of clothes does it need on based off of the temperature? Just like the things that are like 101 that you're not taught in any schooling that you do. And then suddenly you're allowed to have a baby and take it home. And like,
it's literally the most genius idea.
Someone literally hands you a baby and you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And that's also part of the reason why I started this, because there is that education gap when parents are discharged from the hospital. And I always say, like, if you're in the NICU, there is a silver lining to it. It's that you get to learn from the nurses, really learn how to change the diaper and just become comfortable with it before you take your baby home. So that is one of the benefits. And if you don't have that, then you're sent home and thrown to the wolves, and you're just like, what the heck do I do?
Yeah.
yeah.
How was working in the NICU? I mean, was it emotionally challenging? And
it can be emotionally taxing sometimes. I do think it's really rewarding, which is great, but it's sometimes high stress environments, but it's really helped me kind of learn how to stay calm in emergencies. But yeah, I do love it.
Can we do a little vibe shift? Because I want to link this to your own life and your personal life more outside of your professional career. So you've been exposed to new parents now for 8 more years than 8 years. And you yourself, where do you stand on wanting to become a parent and wanting to go on that journey for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have a family one day. That's the goal for me. It'd be great. Okay, so one of the funny things is that at the end of my classes, if I get into a conversation with parents about, like, do you have kids, all of that, I end my class and I'm like, and I'm single, so if you set me up with the person I marry, I'll refund you. I've gotten some setups out of it too, I have to say.
no way. You have?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's genius. What a great little
Yeah.
add-on to the business. Love
But I think I just took that completely away from where you were trying to go.
No,
that's
it's
good,
exactly
though.
where I want to be, because
That's
it shows that, like, you have this desire to want to be a parent. And I assume that maybe you and I have a similar thing in this, where I work in a setting where I'm constantly reminded about fertility and having a child. And for women, there is this optimal age in which you should biologically try to do that. But for a lot of us, we choose our lives and our careers and we put that first.
Yeah.
And that biological desire and where we're at in our minds don't always line up. And for me, that made me go and do embryo freezing. So I know you've done egg freezing. Was that in response to that desire to want to be a career woman, but also want to hopefully have your own family one day? Like, what led you to go, you know what, I'm going to make this decision for myself?
Yeah. I mean, I was 29 and single, and I was dating, and I kind of just didn't want to have to feel rushed. And I just decided to do it.
We often say to people, we almost like joke, but we're not joking. Like, the best thing about egg freezing is that it encourages people, in my mind, not to settle. Like, a lot of amazing women are out there in their 20s dating people and they just haven't found their person. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they don't want to lose the opportunity to maybe one day become a parent. And I'm like, for me, egg freezing is like the way to ensure that you don't end up just settling while you're dating some loser because you think, like, I have this biological time frame I have to stick to.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like, after I did it, I felt like a complete weight lifted off my shoulders when it came to dating. And it kind of allowed me to just like show up more as myself and just not feel like it was as high pressure. And it just made me enjoy dating more.
That's good.
And just, not feel like I was racing against the clock.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, obviously that's the reason for egg freezing, to make you feel like you're not racing against the clock. But for some reason, it didn't really alleviate that for me. Maybe because, like, if I can get pregnant naturally, I would like that. But I don't know. I know I have eggs frozen, but I'm like, for some reason, it's just like, it doesn't click in my brain like that, weirdly. But you two are the medical professional, so I should trust.
Yeah, I get that too. And like, I completely understand. And like, yes, I still have that in the back of my mind, but I kind of view the eggs as like an insurance policy.
I guess.
If I don't use them, great. If I do, great.
Yeah, I guess where my thought process comes in is like, what if IVF doesn't work? And I need it, and then it doesn't work. But it's like, the earlier the better, no matter what.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like, I think when you do egg freezing, it's good to not think about that as plan A. That is literally there as your backup. The policy, which is not 100% foolproof. It can't be. Nothing in life is. And that's the whole concept of insurance. It's there for when you need it, but it doesn't make everything perfect. It's like, that is just there to alleviate some of the anxiety, to presume that you have biologically set yourself up for success by freezing these younger, hopefully higher quality eggs. But that doesn't mean that you won't one day meet someone and happen to need to use it. It's just there in case, in case the timeline doesn't work out for you.
I know people who were planning to like do IVF and everything, and then they had an oopsie baby. And I mean, it wasn't an oopsie because they wanted a child, but like they got pregnant when they didn't think that they would be able to.
I still find it funny, and I think I said this to you not long ago. Like, I feel like I'm in that age where I have so many friends that don't have children. I have so many friends that don't want children, and then I have, an amazing group of friends that are having children, and I still feel like such an outsider to all those categories that every time someone like tells me they're pregnant, I'm still like shocked that that's a possibility.
No, it's like a teenage pregnancy. You're like, oh,
so young. It's one of those things where I just feel like our biological window is so misaligned to where most women are at with their mental space and their careers. And
especially in today's day and age. I mean, I see things all the time on social media that's like, people don't have kids till their mid-30s, early 40s now. They just don't. And celebs, like, they're the driving factor. Celebrities, people are doing it later, and like IVF is becoming bigger and bigger, and people just have aspirations. I mean, you have your entire life for babies, I
mean, if you think about it, like, if you look at the science of it, women's bodies are supposed to get pregnant at 12 years old. Like, right. No one got, like, that's not.
Your fertility window does not match even the societal standard of being equipped or ready to have children. Like, those two things just don't correlate. And it's just funny that biology has changed in so many ways to evolve, but we haven't kept up in that capacity, which is so interesting. And I think it's why egg freezing and IVF is becoming such a big topic of conversation. And it's one of the most rapid growing sciences out there because we're learning so much so quickly because it's being used so frequently. And it's just cool, I think, to just talk about it and to tell people and to have women like you that are like successful entrepreneurs started a business and say, like, happily sit there and say, I proudly like froze my eggs. I think it's such a cool thing because it allows people to keep having these conversations and to see that we have options. We don't have to be limited by this idea of what should be and when it should be. Like everyone is on their own timelines in life.
I'm always open about it. Like if people ask me about it, I'll have full conversations with them about it because it's just not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
And so many people want to do it or like think about it. And I think everyone should do it, even if you're in a relationship, even if you think you want to have kids in the next year or two. Like it's just important.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things these days that I feel that way about. Egg freezing, prenups. I feel like, I know that's controversial, but I feel like it's always
no, it's fine. The paper.
Let's have like all the things, all security blankets, one way or another.
Yeah. Do you mind talking a little bit about what egg freezing looks like for you? Like how you felt during the process? If you're comfortable to talk about maybe your results or like what you discovered about your body during the process, how you felt.
So yeah, my egg freezing process, I honestly didn't think it was terrible. I have PCOS, so they kind of wanted to do like slow for me. So they didn't give me that much medication at first, I guess.
Sorry to interrupt, but did you know you had PCOS prior to going into an egg freezing cycle? Because a lot of people don't, and that's when they first discover it.
So I decided to like go off my birth control at one point a couple of years ago because TikTok was telling me to. Everyone was like, I feel so much better. So I was like, let me try it. And I just didn't. I had symptoms of PCOS and we did blood work and everything. And that's also kind of what pushed me to do my egg freezing too at the time. I was like, I should just do it now because I'm going to maybe need it in the future. But yeah, I found out just by chance. I feel like so many women have PCOS and just don't know because birth control is the treatment for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember who I was talking to the other day and we'll have to fact check it. But I think the time frame of diagnosis for someone who has PCOS, I think for some people it's like up to 11 years or something of living with it prior to a diagnosis. Like
same with endometriosis. I see it all the time. I have endo, so it's all over my feet, and it's like people go their whole lives and no one will diagnose them.
Yeah.
They blame it on everything else. Change this, change your diet, change your this. It's whatever, and then people don't realize that it's in your body.
Yeah. And I think something difficult with like PCOS is it's like a diagnosis by exclusion. So like you need to rule all the things out, and it's like there's not just like one set thing that's like, oh, you have it. There's so many different factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so did that affect the process of doing egg freezing for you, having the PCOS diagnosis?
Oh, yeah. So the silver lining to PCOS is that you have a lot of follicles. So you can technically, hopefully get more eggs than a standard person, I guess. But I guess they also wanted to go slow with my medication because you can, what's that called?
You can hyperstimulate somebody.
Stimulation syndrome. So they want to try and avoid that. So they do it slowly. So my egg freezing process, I think, was 15 days.
Wow.
And they're typically what, like 7 to 10?
Yeah. For the average person.
Yeah. So mine was 15 days. But to be honest, I went on dates and brought the medication and gave myself
No,
a shot.
you did not.
I sure did.
I did not.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, wait, did I fuck up my egg freezing? But like everyone said you could drink.
I drank
a little bit, not like a lot, but like I would have one drink and then I fully gave myself a shot in the bathroom on a date.
No, you did not. So you bring your purse to the bathroom with your...
Like, sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom. Because it was like the time, it was like what, 8:30 that I gave the shot to myself? Yeah.
I did. I was in our dinners doing medications in the bathroom.
No,
Can't let this shit get in the way.
So I couldn't go home for Thanksgiving that year because I was mid-egg freezing and I wanted to do back-to-back cycles to hopefully increase my results. So I went to my best friend Maria's aunt's house, which is like an hour or two away in Long Island. And I did bring the medication in the car. And as we were leaving the Thanksgiving, her husband was driving and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm missing the menopause. I'm like shooting up in the backseat of my car.
Yeah.
Shooting up.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were like, what are you doing? And Maria actually just did her own egg freezing. And she was like, oh, this is what you were doing. But you know Maria, obviously.
You were just incorporating it into your life, which I think is the best way to try and go into the process. Because a lot of people are like, I have to sacrifice 2 weeks of my life.
No.
I mean, yes, you have to commit 2 weeks of your life to the process, but you can make it a part of your life. Like, it's probably harder for people that have needle phobias and things like that. But like
me,
I think that's
I
probably
go
part
on
of
with needle phobia. And I was fine.
Yeah. Now they have like nurses that will go to people's homes and do the shots for them and everything, which is great.
Probably the most daunting part of the process, most people tell me, is the at-home injection. So having a medical background definitely alleviates that anxiety a little bit because it's a little bit less foreign to use needles and draw out medications and things like that.
It's a little scary when they're like, here's all this medication and solution, mix it, make sure you're doing the right milligrams or whatever, and use this needle. And I'm like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if I'm doing the right milligrams, but it's just hormones. They would never give you something at home that can kill you.
And it's stressful because like you don't know what you're doing until that night when they call you. Like, it feels like you have no idea of what's going on.
Yep.
There's no instructions, and then they just call you every night, and that gives me anxiety because, like, I like to know things and, like, have a plan. And that was probably, like, the most difficult part for me.
Yeah, and to like explain that in the background, what's happening is each day you're going into the clinic, maybe not daily, sometimes it's every second day, but towards the end of the process, you're going in pretty much daily. You're going in and having a scan down of your ovaries to check on them and to look at the growth and the size of the follicles. And you're getting a lab test drawn where they're generally checking your progesterone and your estrogen level. And all of those things create the formula for them to decide when is the right time to optimally do your egg retrieval. And so in the background of adjusting your medication doses, the clinic are waiting on all of those results to come through. Then they all come through in the afternoon, and generally one nurse is ringing multiple patients with their instructions for that night as to what they're going to do, what medication changes are being made. So it is like a watch and wait process. You do, like, that's the part where I say you do have to commit yourself for a 2-week period to the process because it's individualized person to person, and we're relying on how your body responds. So you can't know in advance. You have to constantly be waiting for it. What did that look like? How did my body respond to last night's medications? What are we adjusting tonight?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Where can we find Newborn Prep 101?
So we have a website, www.newbornprep101.com, and then on Instagram as well, Newborn Prep 101.
Perfect. We are going to put all the links in our show notes so that you can find Samantha, find her business, look at what state she's available in and how to book. Wow, that is, I was looking this morning because I think in my mind, I was like, wow, she started this company. She must be pretty local. I'm like reading all the states are available in, and I'm like, what a queen. Like,
I know, literally, woman in business. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, this was such a fun episode. I'm so glad we got to like reconnect and see each other. And
Too.
thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
That was fun.